Because my IP address is abused, especially in the live section, but also YouTubers. They're using Minecraft as a tool for their hack operation, right? I want to tell you a little story because I'm not 14 or 25. I'm over 50. I'm from the Cold War. You know, I was actually present in Litauen. So for me, this is no fun, you know. I'm going to tell you a story. I was exposed to data spying, which is industrial spying in design and film and music and books and whatever. I was abused for a number of years. My chasse affair in high level was the card abuse wire scam, right? So it culminated in 2012 where they took my son in an illegal operation where there was a diplomat at place. He was killed, I was wounded, my son is missing in a fraud case, right? So I had a feeling that the institution where the economical criminals and beside of that, you know, different type of crimes in the council. So I wanted to find out who was actually operating the institution telephone number, because that was an answer machine. It wasn't a real person picking up the phone and answering. If I called, there was nobody. And I was putting a lot of message about the investigation and about the wrong things that was in the case. That's hacking, false data, false information, and so on. Document fraud, basically. And nobody reacted. Even I thought like, okay, they have a tape answer machine and I'm leaving a message, but they're not calling back. So who owns that? So I was suspicious in my old childhood street where there is 2 houses of interest, right? So I had figured it must be somewhere around here maybe. So I drew back in that street, and there in the window, a rented room with 2 computers, one at the side and one front, like a disk, operational disk, right? And I thought like, that looks a bit strange, right? A male sitting, operating computers, he has only a bed and nothing else. It's not a home, right? So I did that one day, that I took my phone and went down some cold evening outside in the dark, right? And I was standing outside, he couldn't see me, in the dark, and I called up the number silent to the institution where they say my boy is. Not possible, right? So I called up the number and watched inside the window what was going on. And right, my phone didn't make a sound for security, right? So in his room, there was the one screen across the street was dialing. But he didn't pick up the phone. He didn't do anything. He didn't start to talk. He didn't, he didn't do anything at all. He didn't have to, because it was an answer machine. He was the hacker. Well, how didn't they find him? I mean, why didn't they detect that the telephone number were going the wrong place? I'll tell you why. Because he had an external telephone that he had smuggled in somewhere. So I went up to Esbjerg. Beside of the police station is the commune, but there's also an office that handles these cases. So actually I went down to that office, close to the police station, close to the mayor's office. And I stood outside and I did the same thing, silent call and see what happens. Inside, in the reception, there was a lot of phones lined up and one of them called. And some lady picked it up, looked at it. And another thing I noticed, that if I call up and had my telephone to the ear, then I plugged in the door ring and see what happened. And I could actually hear in my telephone the buttons talk, right? Meaning one thing, it went in security line, I could actually, call up the security, meaning the security was nothing. So actually, if I call that number for my institution in Esbjerg, the call didn't central in the hackers area. It's central in Esbjerg commune area, which make the police, if they checked it for some, I say, I don't understand. There's deep fake in this case and hacking. And if finally somebody checked out something, they would trace the call and say, yeah, but the call goes into the commune. But it didn't. It was an external telephone. So why would he do that? That's because this case is about industrial spying, meaning that he has other clients, meaning that other clients might want my mail. I think they even moved some boxes that they want to have physical papers, also the fraud papers on the case. They made a sort of intervention. I was gonna store some things because I'm moving out, but the commune came with their moving. They moved it out in a way. I hired a company, but somebody else turned up. Basically, that's also a sort of fraud, because it might stand that the commune or the police interfered the boxes in my room. They didn't, because actually I moved it out to a moving company, but they lied apparently. But back to the IT. So basically what you can, actually I tested it together with somebody. I walked in Esbjerg commune, walked into the computer room. I could go in easy, lock up the door, and I was standing in all of the computer room. Basically, if I had been a hacker, I could put in a CD and take all data out. It takes like 5 seconds. There was nobody. No control, no ID check, nothing. And also another thing is, the telephone to Esbjerg commune, which is a head number, has been hacked. The same has the Ministry of Denmark, same have Organization of Child Welfare, Victims Help, Veterans Center, all those numbers has been hacked. The same has Ankestyrelsen and so on. Basically, if you want to make a real fraud number, you could actually produce a case and you can send a mail that there's coming some documents. And they would be lifted in from outside. If I was a very dark, evil lawyer, I could produce a child case in a box. I could write you a mail. I'm sitting in another office. I will just send you a case. That can you take those kids because I want them, right? So the paperwork comes in with the post, but the mail is fake, right? So basically, I import a case fake, and all of the documents are fake. It's a manuscript, like, Susanne Bier, Chance Moore, bad family, blah, blah, blah. And then the case goes into the commune where it's circled around to social workers, maybe committee of children, and nobody knows anything. And parents are helpless. And I actually think, because there's been a lot of trouble in Norway with unrightful stolen children before, actually a form like a hijack almost, right? Which is a hijack because I was attacked in my apartment. It was not the police. And they also, I got data from the police some time after. And that data shows that the data is for September 12th, but it's printed later. And there's actually 3 documents mixed together. There's an old intervention for, I think, about, I was threatened by somebody. There is a mid-intervention, and there is the September. But the most important thing is that the telephone that the police get, and that they didn't get, but it likely that somebody wanted to make it look like they got a call, but the telephone number that they got a call from September, from the commune, was not the commune. I checked it out. It's a mobile number belonging to a summer house rent man that didn't know anything about Esbjerg commune, didn't know anything about the case. Fake number, fake documents, and hackers. Welcome to the new world.